But they are professors who have found some of medicinal values for Mogoka and Mera. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
To Robert Mbui.
Can I
be careful not to make very strong scientific assertions without evidence. Yes, go on and answer Robert Mbui's.
Can I have a photo, Honorable Speaker?
Let me give a disclaimer. I want to withdraw the issue of medicinal values as far as diabetes is concerned, because I'm not an expert, but I know there are published journals which can be submitted to this honorable committee on medicinal benefit of Mogoka and Mera.
Go to Robert Mbui. Yes, Owen.
Just a quick one. Honorable Speaker, I want to put it to the nominee that he used his privileged position in the delegated committee to push for a definition of a word of Mira in the statute, and for me that is legislative mischief. And Honorable Speaker, there is no way that a twig is the same as a leaf, because Mogoka is a leaf, the other one is a twig, and I think he needs to. And when the youth take this Mogoka, what medicinal value do they get? You know, Honorable Speaker.
Go ahead and answer.
Thank you.
Did you use your position in the committee to advance a selfish interest?
No, Honorable Speaker, I never did that. There are more than 20. It's a committee of 21 members, and Honorable Speaker, I've only served as a member of the National Assembly for only 2.5 years. I don't think I have all those powers and roping capabilities which Honorable Mbaya is trying to claim, that within a very short period of my stay in Delegated and Registration Committee, and we are talking in 2023, meaning I had only served for a couple of months as a member of Parliament, that I had the capacity to do what you are calling legislative mischief. I think coming all the way from a marginalized community called Mbere, I come to the National Assembly, and within a couple of months, doing legislative assembly. I think that is wrong, Honorable Speaker, and is Honorable Mbaya is not right. It is the wisdom of the Ministry of Agriculture and the wisdom of the Committee of Delegated Registration, chaired by Honorable Chemkonga. So it necessary and fit, and within the statutes, the legal
Go to the
frameworks.
next question.
Yeah?
Answer the question by Robert Mbui.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Mbui, I will serve the Republic of Kenya without fear and without favor. The issues of employment will be cut across. The face of Kenya must be seen as per our Constitution, as per Article 232 of our Constitution. As a Cabinet Secretary in charge of public service, I will ensure these are issues which are mainstreamed within the public service. No nepotism as far as employment is concerned. When you talk about Public Service Commission, it is an independent, is a commission, is a constitutional commission. They have their clear-cut functions as a very important institution of our country. But also important to say, Mr. Speaker, Honorable Speaker, that government is not a net employer. Government is there to create an enabling environment for job creation, especially from our young people. And that is what I will endeavor to do, that public service create an enabling environment. If it's businesses which are coming to seek services in government in terms of business registration, at the moment it's about a week or so for a business to be registered. I will endeavor to ensure it is registered within the same day. Public service delivery, so that we can be able to create more jobs within all the sectors of our economy. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, he has not answered my question, my first question, because he was advocating for an increase in motor vehicle tax. Do you want our public servants to pay that tax, or you have changed your mind?
Honorable Speaker, public participation, the centrality of our Constitution is public participation. We may come as an executive with an idea in terms of taxes correction, but when we do public participation, we get a different answer or a different opinion from the Kenyans, from the public. So, centrality of our Constitution is public participation. It was very clear when public participation was done that indeed that was not appropriate tax. And I abide with the people of the Republic of Kenya. They are supreme.
George.
Thank you.
Then Dawood, then Ferdinand, in that order.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I wish to get a clarification from the nominee on the basis that the government is actually the largest employer in the Republic. That goes without gainsaying. Number two, it consumes about 60% of our budget, slightly more, on wages, and therefore there is a hue and cry in the country that the government wage bill is bloated. The converse of that is we have these hundreds of thousands of young people who are not employed, and the government should actually be working extremely hard to ensure that the youths get employed, they are able to eke out a living either from the government or from whatever quarter. How will you, as the CS for civil public service and human resource development, how will you harmonize the issue of the bloated wage bill vis-a-vis the unemployment in the country, as a result of which we have very little money left for development?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If the nominee is ready, can I? We've heard a lot about ghost workers all over the public service, in the counties and all that. How do you intend to tackle the ghost worker phenomenon in the country so that we can reduce the wage bill? Secondly, there is a bill in Parliament which seeks to take away some of the powers of the Public Service Commission. What is your take on that, if you are aware? And if you are not, there is a bill which I took to Parliament, the Public Service Principles and Values of Public Service, which says each and every year you're supposed to submit a report on how we have done the public service, regards gender, minorities, disabled, and all that. Because we've not had that report for a long time. How are you going to tackle? Those are three questions. Thank you.
Ferdinand.
My friend is Geoffrey. We normally joke around with you. He's also a friend, but now on a more serious case, not joking. We joke quite a bit with you. First of all, the civil servants, I think it's just related to what other members. You've not come out very specifically. Civil servants are really not motivated. And now with that energy of yours, you go to become a minister, hopefully you will. How are you going to assist the civil servant to be motivated in their services? Because, first of all, salaries are not very good, and you know that very well. And so, most of the civil servants you go around are very motivated. How are you going to do that? We want to bring this country to where it was years back. The other one is that, so very, very personal, my brother. It's on record. I can give you the record to show that. How are you going to do that? Are you going to use your position to take money from the government and pay your personal bills? Or are you going to do that? My brother.
Don't
Jokes
call it
aside.
a nominee.
Yeah.
He's just a nominee, he's not your brother.
We call each other brothers. I've carried this forward. So
For purposes of this,
for the purpose
it's
of this,
just a nominee.
you are a nominee.
Yes.
How are you sorting out these problems? Thank you.
And answer Morugara, Dawood, and Ferdinand.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'll start with the issue of ghost workers. It is true, we have experiencing ghost workers within public service. And my definition of ghost workers, Honorable Speaker, is anybody who is employed by government or offering public service who report to work and disappears after 10 or so minutes. We have cases where doctors will go, or clinical officers, or even nurses will report to work, and within 10 minutes, Honorable Speaker, they are out of dispensary, out of the hospital, to other clinics within the surroundings. Those are ghost workers. We have procurement officers, Mr. Speaker, who have ensured government vehicles which are supposed to be disposed are lying on parking yards for years. So government end up losing huge amount of money when it comes to disposing some of these vehicles. Public procurement officers who cannot ensure the disposal of public assets are done in a timely manner, it end up making government lose money. These are ghost workers. And I will come up with information technology, or rather a system we put a system in place which can be able to link all the government institutions. All the government institutions can be able to talk to each other in matters of civil servants who are reporting to work. The timesheet is an extremely important component moving forward, that once you go to your place of work, we are supposed to know you have reported at what time, and your output, what you have done that particular day, and what time did you leave your workstation. This can only be achieved through ensuring we digitize, we transform how public service is offered through a unified digital government framework. Under the executive order 2023 did put the transformation of public service performance and delivery under the Ministry of Public Service. And I think having a unified digital government framework will enable us to solve some of these challenges we are facing as far as ghost workers are concerned. And it will help us in cutting the cost, in ensuring the service delivery is timely, is effective, is cost effective, is effective, not only effective, but also time-bound. Going to the second question on bloated wage bill, yes, it is true the government of Kenya has a huge wage bill at the moment, and which need to be relooked at. But at the same time, when we are talking about bloated wage bill, Honorable Speaker, how can we ensure it is within the required space? The remuneration of public servants is very important, but it's the same which is increasing the wage bill. So a proper review of demand and supply of public services need to be done. The public servant who we have within the public service, do we need them? Probably There are those who we don't need them within the public service. The services which they are offering, are they truly needed? So this is a review which needs to be done so that we can be able to tackle the problem of bloated wage bill. But also, we need to automate the monitoring system to ensure attendance and output are commensurate. Because if you go to the office and you do nothing for the 8 hours, your output is zero. You don't need to be paid any coin from the taxpayers' money. So these are some of the reviews which we need to conduct urgently to ensure that indeed those who are working within the public service, their services are needed first and foremost, and where we don't have, we can be able to get the supply of the services. But also importantly, we need to unify and have a digital government framework, and I know at the moment the government is trying to digitize quite a number of services, but they are still disjointed. We need to ensure they are unified, and also we need to ensure that we don't pose security risk through having vendors of these systems coming from other parts of the world. We need to develop our local solution to ensure we don't pose security risk to our very vital information. So it must be a coordinated, sovereign, and cost-effective approach in terms of unifying a digital government framework. The other question is about motivation of civil servants. True, we have very hardworking civil servants who need to be motivated, but also at the same time we may be having some who are not very hardworking, and that's why the issues of service charter, which used to be there, are no longer very prominent at the moment. Moving forward, I will ensure the service charter is prominent. We know how long, if a Kenyan wants a service, how long that service should take and what the cost implication of that service. If it is an issue of getting title deeds, which has been a very big problem, services in our hospitals, services in our police stations, we need to ensure that there are service charters, and all the state departments or government bodies should go out there to the public to tell the public that this is what we do within our institution or our state department, and the services which we offer to the public are this. It is our right. They don't cost money. They are free and should not take more than this time. So the issues of service charter is a thing which I will ensure moving forward we are going to institutionalize in all the service, in all the areas of our ministries. Also, coming up with a legal framework which will ring fence the innovations which are done by by public servants, may it be in our universities, may it be in our different institutions, so that we can motivate this very hardworking and intelligent public servant in our institution. That if you come up with an innovative way of solving some of the problems we are enduring, then we are facing, then there is a legal framework on how you can benefit from your sweat. Not that the government will take your innovation and run away with it without even remunerating you in a way. We need a policy framework.
Go to the next question.
The question by my brother that from where I sit, I don't owe anybody. There is that I saw the petition, which is not under, which is not an it's not sworn in as an affidavit. It's not done under the Commission of Oath. So, and it's a matter which has been there in court for even before I became a member of Parliament. And Mr. Speaker, I would not want to comment on a matter which is active in court.
You can answer his question whether you'll use your position to spend public resources
Thank you.
to meet personal obligations.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. No, I will not spend government resources or public resources to do personal issues.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes,
Honourable Speaker, on a point of order.
introduce yourself, put yourself on record, so will Gikaria for the record.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. For the record, Kimani Ichung'wah, Member of Parliament for Kikuyu. Honourable Speaker, I was saying on a point of order, we are not asking Honourable Ruku to delve onto the matter in court and the merits or demerits of that case. What we'd want to know is a matter surrounding your integrity as a Cabinet Secretary nominee. Are there instances then, even on that matter in court, where you have defaulted in paying rent owed to a landlord whose house you occupied, and have you settled that debt? Because I think that is a matter that the member for Kwanza was trying to allude to, because again we cannot hide behind the sub judice rule that is a matter before court and the technicality of the matter not having been on a sworn affidavit. We therefore want to know, have you defrauded anybody, whether on rent or on any other matter, because the matter touches on your integrity as a public officer?
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. I can confirm I have not defaulted or defrauded anybody on matters rent or matters concerning private business or private engagement. But we are very crooked people out there who may want to defraud you just because they think you have this title, and now they come up with all manner of claims. That's why, Honourable Speaker, I categorically say no to some of such individuals.
Yes, Caleb.
Yeah.
Yes, Daud, which one?
My question about the Public Service Commission, being an independent commission, I asked you whether you are aware of changes which are being made to the Public Service Commission, and if you are appointed, will you interfere with the Public Service Commission roles?
Honourable Speaker, I confirm that the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya is clear on the functions and mandate of Public Service Commission, and I will abide by the Constitution of Kenya without interfering the mandate and functions of Public Service Commission. However, thank you.
Caleb,
Yeah.
then Mishi, then Shuria.
Yeah, thank you. I wish you were as brief as that. You'll have moved faster. Speaker, I just have two questions. One, the office that you are going to occupy, if you are approved by this committee, requires a person of high emotional intelligence. And you've seen previously public officers, after they're either impeached or fired, they come out and release information to the public, information that probably the public ought to have known while you are serving in that office. But we get treated to these theatrics after you've left the office. And that is actually from even your immediate, immediate former occupier of that office. They came out and released information, which of course should have been released earlier so that public is supposed to know what happens in those offices. But why am I asking you this is because your bills that have come out, be it the Anti-Corruption, the Demonstration Act, it looks like they are out of emotion. If demonstrations were done by the other camp, maybe the supporters of Raila, they were done by Gen Z, they were not favorable to your side. And that's the reason why you decided this is how I'm going to handle my opponents. So this puts you on a person who lacks emotional intelligence. You act out of emotions, and this is a position that requires a person of high integrity as well as emotional intelligence. Are you emotionally intelligent enough not to treat us to another Muturi kind of theatrics? Then secondly, the Huduma Center and services, it looks it was a revolutionary idea, but it has had a lot of Kenyans have complained so much about the services at Huduma Center, whether it is working, whether the data from the citizens are protected or are not susceptible to international, hackers. How safe is our data? How revolutionary was this idea? And how are you prepared to handle Huduma Center services to the satisfaction of the citizens? Because as it is now, citizens are not, and this is the meeting point of all citizens of Kenya, whether they are from opposition or the government, whether they are supporting you or not, this is the meeting point of citizens and its government. How are you going to make this service once more satisfactorily given to the citizens of Kenya? And what is your ideas, the revolutionary ideas you carry with you to give some changes to this very important service?
Mishi. Honorable Mishi.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. Yeah, I have two questions to Honorable Ruku, who used to be our colleague, but today we are doing vetting. To Honorable Ruku, your predecessor advocated for the office of the Attorney General to have direct recruitment powers by passing the Public Service Commission. So for you, my question is, what is your perspective on this approach? Do you believe other public offices should pursue similar autonomy in their recruitment processes? Do you also think that this can assist in fighting corruption in terms of public recruitment, especially in the issue of nepotism and tribalism? That's my first question. My second question, what are your views on the proposal to amend the Constitution to reduce the number of elected and appointed public officials to alleviate physical pressure caused by the public sector wage bill? Thank you, Honorable Chairman.
Thank you, Mishi. Next, Sharia.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. To the nominee, strategic planning is crucial in realizing new policies within the public service. It guarantees that government agencies function efficiently and effectively while remaining responsive to the needs of the citizenry. What is your experience, if any, in strategic planning and policy formulation? I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Can you answer those three?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The emotional stability, yes, Honorable Speaker. I'm able to, it's not only the two bills which my colleague has mentioned, but also, Mr. Speaker, I came up with the virtue asset bill, which is on different stages of legislative, which is an extremely important bill on matters to do with virtue assets within the space of our republic. I also came up with the election amendment bill, which is also in different stage, as well as sustainable development bill, which is also in different stages of legislative process.
Honorable Ruku, the question from Caleb was very simple. do you have high emotional intelligence or not? And was your proposal to amend the demonstrations law driven by what word did you use? Lack of emotional intelligence? It's as simple as that.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
It was not driven by lack of emotional intelligence, Honorable Speaker.
Then go on and answer him about Huduma centers.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Yes, Huduma centers have revolutionized the way government services are offered in Kenya, and we need to move with speed and ensure we have Huduma center in each and every constituency or in each and every sub-county in Kenya. At the moment, we have about 52 Huduma centers, and we have 290 constituencies. So we have quite a number of constituencies without Huduma centers, and we need to our fast track with, of course, the National Assembly to ensure we have necessary resources for the Huduma centers across the Republic of Kenya. Also, we need to bring in other services within Huduma Center. At the moment, we have almost 30,000 services which are offered virtually or on a digital platform. But when it comes to the bidding systems, we need to enhance the bidding system when Kenyans are paying. We don't want to have a situation where there is even cash handling at whatever service which is rendered by government. On issues to do with strategic planning, yes, I served as a trustee of Water Sector Trust Fund, and a strategic plan is a purview of the board, and I was one of those who went through the process of having developing a strategic plan for Water Sector Trust Fund in the year 2015. Also, as a member of parliament, is a requirement for every constituency in the Republic to have a 5-year strategic plan, which also I developed from Bere North constituency, as well as policies. In terms of wage bill, I think I talked about the wage bill. Yes, we need to conduct a review of the public servant and public services which are offered, and know whether we need some of them or not, and we see how we can cut down the wage bill, but at the same time remunerating those who are doing a good work or good work within the public service. But we need also how to take care of public.
His question
was, can you remind?
Honorable Mishi asked that your predecessor supported autonomy for the aegis office to recruit on their own. Are you also going to support the dismembering of PSC to give autonomy to all other government entities to recruit on their own?
My approach, Honorable Speaker, is to come up with a unified digital government where all bodies within the government, whether it is police, National Police Service or Judicial Service Commission, all the recruiting agencies, we have about 1 million employees or public servants who are in county government, in Teacher Service Commission, in the military, or that we can be able to have a unified digital government where everybody or every institution knows what is happening in an institution called Central Bank, knows what is happening in another institution called Attorney General, chambers, or in whatever the government institution it is. So there is a way we can have a unified a digital government through employing innovations that we need to talk to each other, and every institution has an autonomy of carrying out their mandate properly, but within the laid down public service regulations.
Point of order, Speaker. Point of order. Of course, it's our colleague, but Honorable Ruku, why don't you be just direct? The question was, are you supporting dismantling of public service recruiting and allowing everybody to recruit or not? This idea of digitization, how does that come into that question of answering? Honorable Ruku.
Honorable Speaker, I said I will abide by the functions stipulated on the Constitution as far as Public Service Commission is concerned.
Sufficient. Yes. Can we have Raso, Mule, and then Naisula?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Ruku, I believe you are familiar with the phrase, Caesar's wife must be above suspicion. You have been involved in carbon credit, and also in your response to Honorable Kosing, you are likely to be in charge of famine relief to those deprived communities in arid and semi-arid lands. My question is, are we going to trust you that you sitting at an elevated position are not going to enrich yourself or those around you? My second question is, going through your CV, I note that you have not worked with mainstream government. And further, you have worked with foreign governments here in Kenya by association or by doing business with them. Are you familiar with Official Secrets Act? And if so, how will you be bound by it? Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Mule.
Thank you very Honorable Speaker. Nominee, first I want to pick from where Ichung was left on the issue of integrity. And I've heard you say very clearly that you don't owe anybody. I just want to remind you, you are before this committee under oath. And if we sit down as a committee and we find that you lied to us, how do you want us to treat you as our colleague? Secondly, in the realignment of the government, it's perceived that everybody joining cabinet is an expert, and it can be alluded for the last nominations we have done. Are you experts in public matters? And what is your expertise? Thank you.
Naisula.
Thank you, Chairman. So, listening to my colleagues and most of the perceptions that are out there, you know, depending on the laws that you proposed, so it seems that, and even what others would think, you're abrasive on the positions that you take them so strongly. I'd be keen to hear from you what leadership skills you'll be bringing to the table, from hearing from you, and not just the perceptions that probably we have or colleagues might have, that you'll be bringing to the table. Secondly, the issue of interns in public service. There's a program that's going on that interns are recruited for a year, and after the year, they go back to look for employment. I would like to hear what is your take on the absorption of interns into the public service after they finish their internship.
Thank you. Can you answer those three?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. On matters carbon credits, I did not understand.
How did it come in?
I was asked by
Russell, he asked you, you are going to be in charge of distribution of relief food and other relief materials. Are you going to use your position, if you are found suitable, to enrich yourself?
No, Honorable Speaker, I will not use my position to enrich myself.
Right. That was your question, Honorable Raso. Now go to Mule.
There is a second part of my question.
Yes.
And it has to do with the Official Secrets Act.
Yes.
I will be I will abide by the oath of secrecy as a public servant and as a cabinet secretary.
Now go to Mule. Have you lied to this committee?
Honorable Speaker, I have not lied to this committee.
That was your second question. What is your expertise
Honorable
and
Speaker,
suitability for the office to which you are nominated?
I have served as a member of parliament, which is a public office, for 2.5 years, and a very rigorous office for that matter. And as I said from the beginning, I am subjecting myself to Article 10 of our Constitution to ensure I serve the people of Better North with commitment and dedication, where we have done a very commendable job in terms of administering bursaries, doing our schools, and anything that is within the mandate of member of parliament as far as the people of Better North whom I represent.
Go to Naisola's question.
In terms of leadership, I'm very firm when it comes to what I believe in, and I think as a cabinet secretary, I will serve the people of Kenya firmly to ensure service delivery trickle down to the very remote places and corners of the Republic of Kenya, and they are done timely and efficiently in all corners of the Republic of Kenya, firmly.
Yes,
we need.
We give oversight. You know, we oversight to ensure no discrimination whatsoever. Yes.
Thank you.
And I have performed that excellently, Honorable Speaker.
Majority Leader Hold, Gikaria, introduce yourself. You came late, then ask one question. Then we close with
and the interns.
Thank you. Oh yes, absorption of interns.
It is true the internship is done between 6 months to 12 months at the moment, and we need to enhance the internship program in terms of once you finish the internship, what happens next. At the moment, there's no even certification which they are getting. I will ensure any young person who has done internship with the public service gets certification, and we put as an added advantage in terms of recruitment in other government institutions that if you have served as an intern, you have an added advantage to get a job if you do qualify for the role which you have applied.
Thank you, Honorable Chair, and my apologies. Honorable, my name is David Gikaria. I represent Nakuru Town East constituency. Thank you, Chair. Mine is about productivity from the public servants. Honorable Chair, occasionally it's a policy, a labor law policy where a worker has to go on leave. Honorable Chair, I've been looking at some reports from the Public Service Commission. Thousands of public servants do not proceed on leave for various reasons. Maybe they just protection of their position and things like that. And of course, productivity from their quotas become diminishing most of the time. So what will you do to make sure, like I remember one case where a public servant had not gone on leave, and by the time he was due to go for retirement, he was saying, I've not gone for 12 years, I need to be paid, putting a lot of wage bill on the government where somebody. So my question
Isn't there a policy that abolished that selling leave days to government?
Well, I'm just saying it was a past thing. So
talk about current things.
So what I'm just saying, Honorable Speaker, is what is he going to do to make sure that public servants proceed on their leave on time, mandatory leave? Thank you.
Yes, Ruku.
Honorable Speaker, in terms of productivity from the public service, yes, we will ensure that we have accountability as far as public servants are concerned. The output, to ensure the output is measurable, we come up with such innovations as timesheets, which shows that indeed you have gone to workstation and you are doing as per the required of your workstation of your or other service which you're offering to the public. So these will be tools, some of the tools which we will use to measure your output, and in that case to ensure you are productive within your workstation. And this should be mainstreamed across all the government institutions or all the government ministries. For instance, I can give an example, if you allow me, Honorable Speaker, that in judiciary we have a prosecutor, we have an investigator, we have a magistrate, and if one of them is out of the workstation, one of them does not do his or her job properly, then the entire process is derailed. So we ensure that if you are on a case, an investigator, you do your investigations timely. If you are a prosecutor, you don't go to a magistrate and request 2 months to do the investigations, you know. So that Kenyans can have value for the money. On retirement, the policy at the moment is that once you reach the age of 60, you should proceed to retirement. We'll ensure the process is, the system is digitized. We know when you got into employment, when your date of birth, and by the time you are hitting 60, unless the very specialized skills which may be required within the public service, of course, through the recommendation Public Service Commission, that you may have 2 years probably of the service. But at the same time, we need to synchronize, because when you talk to the universities, professors retire at the age of, I think, 70. When you talk to judiciary, judges retire at the age of, I think, also 70. So we need to harmonize the retirement age. No, I have not said 270. I'm saying there's need to look the harmonization in terms of which is the right age, depending on the skills which you have for retirement. They should be skills-based.
Majority Leader.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, mine will be two very quick ones. One in relation to what I think either Robert or the member for Matungulu had asked on your experience. Because you've only served in public office for just 2.5 years. From your CV and everything, all the documents I've submitted, you've only been in public office as a member of parliament for the last 2.5 years. And you're now transitioning from elective office, having served only for 2 years, to an appointive office in the executive. We have seen in the recent past people who served for one term of parliament and transitioned to the executive become extremely arrogant, overbearing on other leaders, holding especially members of parliament with contempt. Are we likely to see the same arrogance, contempt for members of parliament and other elected leaders that we have seen with others who served before you in parliament for one term, now that you even served for half a term, not even one term? do you see the hubris that we've seen before with you, should you be approved by this House? My second question, Honorable Ruku, you have been a key defender of this government in and out of Parliament, on national TV, in the villages in Embu. And the President from the Executive has expressed his frustration with having cabinet secretaries who cannot espouse a single government policy, who cannot be there to speak for and on behalf of government. If you are approved in your transition to the executive, are you now going to become too bossy to be seen to defend the same government that you are being appointed to? Will you be too bossy to interact and work with members of the public, or shall we see the same Ruku who was able to espouse government policy and government agenda on national TV? Are we going to continue seeing that side of Ruku in articulating government policy and communicating what government is doing to the Kenyan people from the executive?
Hold, Ruku. Mary Emase, you've just come late. Introduce yourself and ask only one question.
Thank you, Speaker. I'm sorry I'm late. I was in another committee. Emase Mary is my name, MP Teso South. Honorable Ruku, I just have one question. How are you going to ensure that there is transparency and accountability in public service, especially when it comes to recruitment into public service opportunities, which is perceived by the public to be a preserve of a few or a few regions? How are you going to ensure there's that equity? Thank you.
Thank you so much. For Honorable Emase, I responded to that, Honorable Speaker, that the Constitution, Article 2, 32, and 10 of our Constitution, I will abide by that to ensure no nepotism, no corruption as, in employment, and more so within the public service. I will go out of my way to ensure Article 232 is well followed. Number the question by the Honorable Kimani Ichung'wah, the Leader of Majority, I will work very closely with the leadership of the Parliament, National Assembly, and both Senate, in terms of the committees, departmental committees.
The question was, will you be bossy, condescending, and arrogant?
I will not, Honorable Speaker. You will not see such kind of character from me.
Point of order, Speaker.
Let him answer Emase's question first.
I have started with Emase's question.
Okay.
Number 2, from Honorable Kimani Ichung'wah, yes, I will continue articulating the government policies, the government project to Kenyans, because the Ministry of Public Service cut across all other ministries. I will do so firmly, and this is a government of the people of the Republic of Kenya. All services which government is offering, I will continue articulating the government policies and why they are doing, government is doing so.
Dawood, what was it?
I don't know if it was the slip of tongue. He said he will just be working with the leadership of Parliament. Will he work with the other MPs who are not in leadership?
I'll work with each and every member of Parliament, both the National Assembly and the Senate.
Thank you. Honorable Ruku.
As well as the county governments, because the public service cut even in the county government.
A few questions from the public. What will the Cabinet Secretary nominee do for persons with has often faced criticism for nepotism and lack of accountability? What concrete measures will you implement to ensure that recruitment and promotions are strictly merit-based? You have already talked on that. This you haven't, you can answer. What is the nominee's perspective on the widespread perception that social protection programs like Inua Jamii are politically targeted rather than needs-based? The second one that you can answer, what is his stance on conducting a nationwide lifestyle audit of all public and state officers as a condition for holding office? If appointed, would he recommend the same? You can answer those two.
The first one, in terms of ensuring those who are physically...
that one you already answered. I told you answer. What is your perspective on the widespread perception that social protection programs like Inua Jamii are politically targeted rather than needs-based?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Inua Jamii is a very key component, a program for the people of the Republic of Kenya, especially those who are aged, and through our administration, through the chiefs and assistant chiefs, and also the public opinion, our elected leaders in our grassroots MCAs will ensure the Inua Jamii is well targeted, and it target the very vulnerable in our communities, and also those who have reached the age of 70 and they don't have the dependents who can take care of them. Through consultative forums for opinion leaders, field elders, chiefs and assistant chiefs, and also our MCAs to ensure...
You will not politicize the program?
I will not at any moment politicize this very important program.
Lifestyle audit?
Yes, lifestyle audit has been tried in the past. I think it's something that we may want to consider moving forward, so that we minimize everybody be accountable, especially the public servants.
Thank you, Ruku. We'll ask you a few other questions. What is your net worth?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Land and buildings, about 40 million. Family residence, 60 million. SACCO and savings, 15 million. Share from private company, 250 million. Motor vehicles, about 12 million. A total of 377 million.
Have you ever been convicted of an offense in a court of law?
No.
Have you ever been adversely mentioned in a parliamentary committee report?
No.
Do you hold any office in any political party?
No.
You are not an official of DP?
I'm not an official of DP. I'm a member.
Have you ever been dismissed or removed from office for contravention of provisions of Article 75 of the Constitution?
No.
We have received your documents, have been cross-checked with what we have and have been found in order, so we can now release you to go to your other duties.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, for this opportunity to interact with this very important committee and also with Kenyans. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and may you have a good afternoon. Honorable members, it's 3:10. Can we break for lunch for 30 minutes? We resume at 20 to 4, so that we give also the clerks time to clean up the room. Members of the press, you're also invited to lunch.